Hi, I'm Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing and Julia Royston Enterprises and the Book Business Bosses. Well, we are on number 29. We're coming up on 30, but number 29 is another one of those tough questions to ask yourself, and one that is very, very important when being a book business boss. And I know you're saying, wait a minute, we need to go back to the covers and the inside. This is just as important as the cover, as the text, because this question asks you, how are you as a leader? How do you lead? And I have had all types of leaders that I thought were wonderful people, but I couldn't follow them very well. I've had great leaders who were out front and did a lot of work, but didn't know how to coach a whole team. I've had leaders who would prefer to tear up the whole thing rather than seek advice and get anyone's help because they wanted to get all the credit. So, I've seen some great leaders. I've seen some not so great ones. And what I'm striving to do is be a leader in my area, but really strive to do it well. I know it's a hard thing. I've seen leadership. Some areas I don't want to lead. My principal asked me, so have you ever thought about, no, I don't, that job doesn't interest me in being a principal. I've seen it. It's hard. I don't want to tackle it. And that's something that, with all the pain that goes with anything that you're involved in, you have to count up the cost and you have to determine, is this worth my time, effort, energy? Am I willing to go the long haul? Am I willing to weigh all the options and make a decision and stand on my own 2 feet, sink or swim, as old folks say, good or bad, up or down? If we go up, we lose everything, we gain the world. Are you willing to take that risk? And what type of leader are you? And, one of the things that I strive to do in everything I do is let people do what they do. And even though I can do a multiplicity of things, if I'm going to have people around me, I need them to do what they do. Because why are they there if I'm going to try to do their job and what is mine too as well? So, just really looking at all the resources and looking at leadership and, some bold leaders, and I say what I want and do what I want. Well, okay, you can be that way, but you might be by yourself and turn around and nobody's following you. And then you could be a leader that doesn't let anybody else do anything. And I have that problem of, I'm going to lead, but I don't need nobody to lead. But I've learned over time what ends up happening is you're tired and go out. And because you didn't ask for help, you didn't get help. You didn't get help to be able to do the things that they could do and their strengths. And then you tried to do everything, and now you wore out and tired and you don't feel like doing anything. And now the important things are coming and you don't have any energy. You're older, you're just tired. So what kind of leader are you? Sometimes you have to sit down and weigh that option. You have to see some examples of leaders that you enjoyed watching and those leaders that you didn't enjoy so much watching. And then you have to say to yourself, if I were in their shoes, what would I have done differently? Sometimes I had a principal one time, and that I highly respected that principal and loved them dearly and still do to this day, but realized when they had to make some decisions, I might not have agreed with the decision, but given the options, I respect them highly for being able to be bold enough and strong enough to make that decision. So, you have to take into consideration there's always somebody in the background. If I was in charge, well, if you were in charge, really, would you have made some decision differently? Would you have done something differently? Would you have said something differently? Would you have made a different move? I don't know. Having been in leadership for a while of one shape or form, whether I was leading a choir, now leading a company or leading an organization, It's harder than it looks. And people just think, ooh, I want to be out front. Really? Oh, I really want to lead. Ooh, I really want to be in charge. You do until you're in charge of it. You do until you have to make those hard decisions. You do until you have to decide, I head in direction left, but I can't take this, this, and this with me. I head in direction right, but I have to stop doing, I may have to make some adjustments in the way I live and the way I do things. It's harder than you think. So what type of leader are you? Now, what does that have to do with books? Everything. You know, it has everything to do with that, because your book will move based on how you lead it, how you're willing to go and invest in it, how you're willing to be out front and talk about it. You know, I find that, and it really hurts me and pains me, but, you know, there are people who have terrific and powerful stories, but because they're so painful, they're unwilling to tell those stories. And I totally tell them, until you're ready to actually be out front and be the front man on the front, you can't do it. And you would make that investment of having a book, but it be hid in a box somewhere. So the same thing is with your book. You got to be bold enough and brave enough to tell somebody, knock on a door, call the manager of the bookstore and email the person and call the publisher and get it from the notebooks out of your head and on paper. You know, there's a lot of leadership that it takes. Oh, I don't want to lead no company. I'm not going to do no business like you do. No, but that book is your business. That's your baby. That's that thing that you birth. That thing that's down in the inside of you that's now out for the world to see. How you going to lead it? It's like having a 2-year-old trying to get it across a major highway intersection. How you going to do it? You going to carry the baby? You going to make the baby walk? Well, how you going to do it? You going to put it in the stroller? You going to leave it on the side of the road? What are you going to do? How you going to get across? How you going to get to that next destination? How you going to get there? You got to lead it, and carefully. It's got to be your pride and joy. And I understand that with people's books, that this is their baby. This is their life connection. This is just not a piece of paper and some cardboard wrapped with gloss on it. It is your life. So how you going to lead it? And the publisher is not the only one going to lead it. And the publicist and anyone else associated, the graphic designer, you have to be the leader of your own free world. You have to be the leader of you're the book boss. You're the leader of it. So how are your leadership skills? I'm Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Julia Royston Enterprises, and now the Book Business Bosses, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth. Have a great day. Bye-bye.